Man, it's a lot of stuff that Mase and Usher know that they ain't telling about Diddy. There's a lot of stuff that they know. Can you imagine, bruh? Can you really imagine?
What you mean by Usher, though?
Usher used to stay with Diddy, too.
And, but do I regret it? For the fact that he wants to be called Cinco.
Right.
I know that he probably has some, something with it. But I'm like, hey, you know what, though? Do what you want, man.
You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
According to a man, Usher, he's saying that Usher gave him herpes and wants Usher to turn over his medical records.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Is Usher finally standing up for himself?
But we come from a very homosexual era of hip-hop as well. There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams, and she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. And now it's all come full circle. There were many situations, none of which to talk about, but there were many situations back in the day in my career. And it's all coming full circle now.
So these artists, they're getting in the ass because that's their ritual. That's their rite of passage to get to the next level.
They just videotape it. Then when he in the meeting, they give him the contract. They play the video of him getting fucked by like 3 niggas.
Everybody in the music industry that you see that's successful is a homosexual. So you go, so they get high, they get intoxicated, and they have transvestites in ass. They have transvestites come and videotape this shit.
Lately, several celebrities have spoken out or recalled troubling experiences involving rapper Sean Diddy Combs. Among them are Chris Brown, Wendy Williams, Gene Deal, and most notably Cassie, who went as far as filing a lawsuit against him. But now that Usher is opening up about how Diddy allegedly groomed him during his younger, more vulnerable years, people everywhere are reacting strongly.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans.
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary
okay?
J. Blige, they didn't know nothing about this shit.
Here's the full story. Usher first came to Diddy's attention when he was just 14 years old. At that time, the music mogul signed him to Bad Boy Entertainment without delay.
My brother right here from day one, we used to wake up and, pause, but like that's how, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes.
Take your time with him. Breathe it in. Yeah, they are when we go see this for you. We ain't for nobody else but you. You take that time, boy. I see you. Fly ass motherfucker doing baby. You were in the kitchen eating all my cereal.
From that point on, it's reported that Diddy became Usher's mentor, introducing him to fame, luxury, and the entertainment world. As part of this mentorship, Diddy even had Usher live with him.
I was having a good time, you know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem.
Yeah.
I had like,
What
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy camp?
Hell no.
See?
Fast forward to years later, during a 2012 interview with Oprah Winfrey, Usher opened up about some of the darker parts of his early career. He shared that, while still very young, Diddy exposed him to adult experiences, wild parties, and risky behaviors.
And it was hard. There were a lot of things I seen, and a lot of positions that I think I was put in where I had to make very, very tough decisions in my life about who I would be. I was 13 years old, and being 13, having that type of exposure, yeah, it was cool to go to Howard Homecoming with Puff. It was great to be able to go to Club USA or the Supper Club, with Puffy in that time, or the Tunnel. But these are places that a 13-year-old probably should not be. Most kids would be excited about it. Most kids are trying to figure out, how to be around hot girls, pretty girls. I'm around grown women, and I'm seeing them do things and have experiences that I'm not quite ready for. And I think that he was just trying to show me the lifestyle. However, that's not what I was there for. I was there because I wanted a career, man. So we would fight, we would tussle. More than often, I think Puffy would say, man, you got to chill. Like, you're just a little bit too intense. You got to relax. Like, yo, man, I'm here to work, man. I ain't sang in a week. I'm 13 years old, like banging on this man as though, I am the manager. I am the spokesperson for Usher. And I'm telling him, look, you're going to put me in the studio, man. You got Biggie Smalls in there. You got Craig Mack in there. You're going to make me a priority, too. I'm not here to party with you. I don't want to go to the clubs. Matter of fact, I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs? I think as a kid, I realized, hey, look, that's not my ring. That's not my moment. That's not my bottle. That's not my drink. That's not my celebration. So I'm not here to celebrate. I wanted people to be excited about me the way that they were excited about him. I wanted my own success. I would stay at the studio. All of what I could absorb from being an artist, being around other performers like Mary J. Blige, Jodeci, I'll Be Sure at the time, Missy Elliott, Timbaland, all of these people, I would just absorb every bit of what I could get my hands on. I was just pulling everything I possibly could. There was a lesson in all of it. There was something to pull from it all because I got a chance to see a glimpse of the lifestyle, a glimpse of the idea of what it was to be successful. And part of all of this is really, if you can see it, then you should believe it.
Usher admitted he was pressured into doing things he wasn't mentally or emotionally ready for. Looking back, he regrets some of the choices he made, but at the time, he simply didn't know any better. Recently, Reggie Wright Jr. came forward in support of Usher's statements, validating many of the claims Usher has made.
I keep telling y'all that I've been battling with this homosexuality way before all this came out. Y'all be, you motherfuckers like always saying, and you too, John, Reggie be lying, Reggie making up. But if y'all go and listen to my videos before, y'all see I done spoke on all this bullshit before. Been telling y'all, Puffy Combs is a fucking homosexual. Any man sitting paying a motherfucking meal to come and watch him have sex with his girl is a weirdo. Now I know y'all be like, well, you don't watch porn, you don't watch porn. No, number one, I don't pay a motherfucking man to come and watch me or let me watch them and a man. I mean, a girl. I ain't gonna pay no man to do that. And generally, if I'm watching porn, it's girl on girl. That's just my taste. But yeah, that's crazy. But I've been telling y'all that he's gay. But when you have to have these females around, you gotta hide that crazy fantasy. I got Gene done told y'all. They're going to buy plugs. Females that play with dildos and plugs and all that, they want their own. They want that broken out brand new or new for you niggas that don't know. You go break out a that you've been having laying around the house or something like that. Bitches be like, yeah, get that shit away from me. You better break it out of some plastic. How I know? I used to date. Don't do that no more. I am a happily married man now. But that's how that goes, y'all. That's how that goes. Puffy is a weirdo. Telling y'all he's a weirdo. But now that it's out, everybody else can benefit from the stories. But Gene been telling y'all. It's one thing I give him credit for. He been telling y'all. He ain't been saying no words like I just harshly said it. But dude, man, dude, it's gonna come out. Usher, somebody gonna come out and tell y'all these stories. It's just a matter of time.
Usher also criticized Diddy for being a poor role model. He explained that he eventually had to distance himself and build his career on his own terms, no longer wanting to be under Diddy's control.
Because as a result of being around that man, Sean Puffy Combs, I don't sleep to this day. I have a problem sleeping to this day. I got it from him. I mean, this is a dude who just never slept. He's probably the first one to get up and the last one to go to sleep. So at the age of 8, 9, I began to ask myself, like, what am I gonna do with my life? Who am I gonna be? Am I gonna be a teenager who sleeps on my mom's couch, looking for, a menial job that, will at least give me enough to just pay for gas to get there and from every day? Nah, I want to do something that I feel is going to take my mom out of here and hopefully put us in a better situation.
So why is Usher choosing to speak out now? Is there any solid proof behind these claims? Actually, yes. Fellow rapper Mase recently brought fresh attention to the deeper issues within the music industry. On social media, Mase called out Diddy for refusing to release his publishing rights that have been withheld for more than 20 years. In a bold tweet, Mase highlighted how young artists are often trapped in unfair contracts with Diddy and then face long-term consequences.
That's really good. Let me take my shades off. Now, I could say this because it's not something I didn't say to him. Puff, how do I want to say this? Me and Puff was like, I felt like I did more than I got credit for, more than I got paid for.
You felt or did you do that? Because you said felt, like
okay,
feeling.
let's clear that up then.
You saying you feeling that?
No, we're gonna keep it with, because I'm trying to be nice. I never got paid what I was worth, and I never got the respect I was worth. So the disdain that I got for Puff is more like, you trying to keep me here. I'm not here. All my peers is up here. All my peers are bosses. When it's time, just like somebody raised somebody up, they did work with you, they go from your little man to maybe A&R to something else. He just kept trying to keep me right here, like he didn't want me to grow at anything. And to anybody, is that gonna bother you?
Yeah.
Especially if I'm producing the work. Yeah. Puff would go out and party, and I would be in the studio writing the records, and then I just come back and say, say this is his part or that is his part. But I was the person there creating it all.
Right.
And then, from the lyrical standpoint, where somebody did a beats, and even More Money, More Problems, I came up with that. I came up with the beat too. And I said, Stevie, we need to do this beat and do it like this. So just imagine all of these moments that are taken from you, the records, the beats, you ain't getting the money, you ain't getting the publishing, you ain't getting the respect. And I don't think you're like that.
No.
So that became really frustrating for me because I'm looking.
You don't think you like that? What that mean?
I don't think you would like that.
Like,
if a motherfucker did you like that?
Yeah,
what story is you listening to?
Man, I don't think you like that, to be pulling what you pulling.
Yeah, you from the ghetto. You like,
yeah, like you know what would come with doing that. But everybody is letting you get away with it. Everybody. So me quitting after one album, it didn't take long for me to figure it out. Like, I'm not gonna be here with this. I don't care who's here because you're not paying me and you're not respecting me.
Mase also criticized Diddy's public image of black excellence in a detailed Instagram post, urging him to confront the toxic structures within the industry. Supporting both Mase and Usher, Justin Bieber's experience with Diddy adds another layer. Back in 2009, Usher discovered Bieber on YouTube when the singer was 15. The two became close, and through Usher, Bieber was introduced to Diddy, who reportedly invited him to his parties and gave him expensive gifts, including a Lamborghini, but Bieber's mother, Patty Millett, raised serious concerns. She claims Diddy tried to expose Justin to alcohol and marijuana at his gatherings. According to her, she once saw things at Diddy's party that deeply disturbed her, and felt she had no choice but to step in to protect her son.
There was a time where I was sipping lean, I was popping pills, I was doing Molly, shrooms, everything. All these people around me just kind of hanging on, wanting stuff from me, knowing that, I was living this lifestyle that they also wanted to live, drinking, smoking. As humans, we go through so many ups and downs, so many good seasons, bad seasons.
Pop superstar Justin Bieber arrested at Miami Beach overnight.
Charged with DUI, resisting arrest.
Since those days, both Usher and Bieber have moved on and built successful careers. However, the journey hasn't been smooth. They've both dealt with addiction, depression, and legal battles, issues they believe stem in part from their past involvement with Diddy. To make matters worse, Jaguar Wright has made shocking claims suggesting that Diddy may be linked to several suspicious deaths, especially of young artists who wanted no part in his behind-the-scenes behavior.
I'm sorry, I'm a little upset about it, because Al B. Sure just came out of his coma, and I've been talking to Al, and we've been texting back and forth, and I'm just glad that he's alive to text.
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah. But when you think about Kim, I was thinking to myself the other day, Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, Al B. Sure, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Kim's dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only 2 left are Puffy and Al almost died. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim died from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that she died. It was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was going to meet up with him because we were in Vegas, and the next thing you know, you want to know what they all had in common, though? The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books. Andre was writing a book right before he died. Heavy D was working on a book before he died. Kim Porter was working on a book before she died. And Al B. Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma?
Wright even suggested that something had to be seriously wrong in Diddy's relationship with Cassie for her to walk away. She pointed out that before leaving him, Cassie was reportedly being paid a monthly salary of $500,000. According to Wright, if a young woman is receiving that kind of money, there's likely something extremely troubling going on behind closed doors. On top of all that, Lisa Gardner, an aspiring artist back in the day, filed a lawsuit on November 23rd, just before the Adult Survivors Act expired. In it, she accuses Diddy of sexual assault during 2 incidents in 1990 and 1991. She says she met Diddy and singer-songwriter Aaron Hall at an MCA Records event. Later, at an after-party in Hall's apartment, she claims she was given more drinks and then forced into sexual acts with Diddy. Gardner also says her friend was assaulted too. According to her lawsuit, the experience left her shocked and traumatized, and that's the end of this video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. For more updates, don't forget to hit the bell icon.